Alright guys, how's it going? It is Wednesday the 18th of January 2023 and you're watching KopTalk.tv. Alright. Now, if you're new to my channel, right, I am not an ITK. I would never describe myself as anything like that, right? Well, to be honest, I'm the original ITK. However, I'm a fully grown adult, so don't lump me into them sort of categories, please. Don't give me like, I want down chubs, because I don't care what you think. I'm not an ITK. And I am not a YouTuber. That maybe sounds a little bit contradictory, but there's people that just create YouTube videos and that's what they want to do. The kids of today and all that's great. I'm not in either of them categories, right? I run a website. I was going to say lesbian. I've run the KopTalk website, KopTalk.com, for 25 years. And this is an extension of that content where I get to talk to and interact with some people that follow my work. Okay, that's it. So there's nothing to prove around these parts. And as I always say in all of my videos, it's up to you to make your own decisions about everything that's going on out there, from reading things, listening to things, and you draw your own conclusions. All right. So yesterday I recorded a podcast episode that was an hour and 20 minutes long. Ridiculous, I know, but that was touching exclusively, only on the potential sale of Liverpool Football Club, the Qatar rumours, what we think is happening with FSG. Are these rumours true? What else, who else has been trying to, buy the club, as Rafa would say, Rafa, as Tom Hicks would say. It was a very detailed look at things, all right? And that was available to podcast patrons. That's people that support the podcast. It was available to KopTalk VIP members, obviously, because they get everything for looking after me. And also, I uploaded it to the KopTalk TV channel members. And the reason I did that wasn't so that to try and encourage people to support my content. If people want to support me, they'll support me. It's as simple as that. It's because sometimes, if something's private on one of those videos or a podcast thing and it's not public available to everyone, it's either one, because it's sensitive and I don't think it's a good idea to mention it publicly, let someone else take the shit for it if they leak it or get it out there, or two, it's because I want a quiet life, and that's usually the reason. All right, so yesterday's was a very long look at things, and if I put that out publicly, I just want a quiet life. All right, so if you fall into any of those categories, member, patron, whatever, you can listen to that content from yesterday. However, you don't need to be, right? You can listen to this video, because I'm going to try and look at things very quickly for those of you that choose not to support me, or those of you that would if you could, kind of thing. I don't like memberships and subscriptions, to be honest with you, but that's just the way of the world today. If you look back at advertising, back in 1998, 99, when I had the website, you were getting 10 grand a month in advertising. You'd be lucky if you got 100 quid for the same amount of impressions today. That's how the advertising's changed on the internet, and that's why you have so many of these websites like the Echo, for example, the Daily Mail or whatever, clickbaiting you and forcing all these adverts on you, all right, because the industry is very poor. That's why you have so many paywalls and shit. For me personally, I just want to exist, right? I'm not bothered about making money. I would love to be very wealthy, etc. But I'm here because I love what I do, and as long as I can pay the bills, then I'm happy. All right. So I just like to make that very clear to people if they're new to my channel. But if you win the lottery, look after me. All right. What was I going to say? So, what is the state of play with this situation? I think that you guys are driving yourselves absolutely mental with it all, because there is so much misinformation out there at the moment, regarding this Qatar link especially. And I have to be very careful what I say these days on YouTube, because YouTube's becoming very, hard on censorship. You can't crack funnies anymore, jokes anymore. Your profanity really restricted with it. There's nothing clever about swearing. If I'm just sat here effing and blinding for the sake of it, I think that's pathetic. But there is passion in football, right? And ordinary people that probably are quite calm people, often when they're passionate about things, they can spill over. And I do videos on here sometimes, or used to do back in the day, what are called tripod videos. You might see some people in the comments say, tripod video now, Dung. Basically they consisted of me standing up. It's the only bit of exercise I do these days, and and ranting. Okay, and I would like to do those videos, but I don't think YouTube is the platform for doing that. So we're going to do them on rumble.com, I think. I did register a YouTube channel on there, a channel on there the other day, on Rumble. And don't worry too much about it. If I do a tripod video, I'll put a trailer on it and I'll put a link in so you can go and watch it over there. That way we shouldn't get into trouble off YouTube. No, the reason I'm telling you that is because I was going to make like a funny, try and like banter about the situation. So what I was going to say, and I'll try and word it, in a non-offensive way, because there's some real pussies around today. See, I'm not even supposed to say that word. If you're on Twitter and you see someone that looks like an Arab, that's got like, maybe a nice car in the picture, or they're in a nice hotel or something, but if they maybe look like they've got a bit of money or something, and they look the part, and you know what I mean by looking the part, being an Arab, right? And they say anything about Liverpool, you guys like, I don't know if it's naivety or just being a bit daft. Not. I'm talking about the randomers, the people that are a bit. I'm not my regulars on here. They're not stupid, but people on Twitter, if you're a Liverpool fan and you live in Saudi, or if you live in Qatar or something like that, and you got all the gear on and everything, you know what I mean, and you go on there and say something like, and you got a few followers maybe, people think that, that them people that they're seeing the tweets from on that are like, like sheikhs, worth millions or something like, do you know what I mean? But really, it's just the equivalent of us peasants, right? They just look different to us. And we can go, if you think about it, we can go to any city in England or anywhere, and we can have our picture took nice, next to a nice car or a nice hotel, or it makes you look like you're something. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, every single time anyone falls into that category in Qatar, for example, or in Saudi or Dubai or wherever, people on Twitter, they go, oh, look, he's an Arab, look, he's shit, he's a prince or something, he knows what he's talking about. So you've got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? Because I'm just seeing ordinary Liverpool fans in that region having the, see, I'm trying to be careful with the swear words, retweeting the not even, you can't even say HELL, you know what I mean, unless I indicate when I upload the video that there's those kinds of words. It's ridiculous. Retweeting the out of it, and giving it like more publicity and attention. It's just be careful with what this is what I mean. This is why I'd like to be doing a tripod video, because I'd like to say, just knock it off, right, and stop falling for it. There's so much misinformation, and you know what I think about these Twitter people, right? There's a lot of people on there that are deliberately, posting misinformation. The other day there was one tweet going around that quoted Klopp as saying there will be a big change at Liverpool, or something. And the insinuation there was that he was referring, it didn't say it, but the insinuation was that, the big change, well, this is a club saying, isn't it? And everyone's like, oh, you know what that means? And he didn't even say that. It was taken out of context and the words changed slightly. And that's misleading, right? So you need to stay away from people like that. And if you've got friends or you're following people that are retweeting that means they're thick as, you know what I'm saying, right? So unfollow them. And if you're following the actual original source of things like that, unfollow them, block them. You don't want to see people like that because they are deliberately misleading you. The Qatar link, right, and speculation is not new, right? All this stuff I'm saying, because people come to me and say, what do you think? Do you think it's going to happen, this about Qatar? What do you think about this about Qatar? And I'll say, well, what is it specifically that you're asking me? Because there's zillions of claims about it. So you need to be more specific with the question, right? I think, this is what they'll say to me, they'll say, I think we've been sold to Qatar and we're just waiting for approval, right? Because they've read that somewhere else, right? My answer to that would be, well, I'm going to say it in a very polite way, would be, no, all right? Really, I want to say that's a load of, you know what I'm saying, guys, right? So, no, that's not happened, right? In my opinion, listen, if you think different, that's fine. Some people will ask me that question and I'll answer it and they'll go, well, I think differently, Dunk. Well, that's fine, you can think differently. But you're asking me what I think, all right? And I don't know everything that's going on to do with the club, all right? But there's people that I trust, for decades, and that's all that matters as far as I'm concerned. What you guys believe is up to you. Now, listen, the Qatar, I don't know how to spell this out anymore, right? I mean, I feel like I'm repeating this on a daily basis. And this is because of the amount of misinformation that's out there. You know, Liverpool Football Club was going to be sold at the beginning of the month. It was going to be sold on the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, within 2 weeks, and it just goes on and on and on, right? First of all, be suspicious of anyone that tells you this is going to happen in that amount of time. How do you know that? If I'm selling my house, I can say, well, you know, I think it'll complete, you know, within a couple of months or something. I don't know it's going to do because the solicitors might be, something might come up in the paperwork that needs addressing. How can anyone that's doing a multi-billion-pound purchase say it'll be completed in 2 weeks? It's nonsense, guys, right? It's complete nonsense, and you've got to avoid that. So you just don't and if you have to ask, right, is this person credible? You're already answering your own question, because if they were credible, you'd already know, right? Do you know what I'm saying to you? If I said to you, is Paul Joyce credible? I think the majority of people go, absolutely. Because we all know who Paul Joyce is, right? So, especially if you see a newcomer come into the fray, and what makes me hilarious is when people not what makes me hilarious, what I find hilarious is when people send me a screenshot of someone that's been DMing them that look the part, right, in that region. You know, they've got the flip-flops. Now, you can't say these things, right? They look the part, right? And they'll say, well, I'm involved in the actual deal, you know, and we're doing this at the minute. And they might have a lot of followers, right? And so that gives it credibility to them, which is nonsense in the first place, right? Because you can buy followers for a start, right? And is someone that's involved in a multi-billion-pound transaction of any kind of business, right, really going to divulge and break non-disclosure agreements to some random fan on Twitter? I mean, what's wrong with you guys? Please, I know it's not my, you know, the people that I'm used to seeing comment on my videos on here. I know this does not apply to you. You know, I know this does not apply to you. I don't even know where to start. So, the Qatar interest in Liverpool Football Club, yes, it is genuine, right? And it's been there since at least November. I suspect even prior to then, right? Excuse me. It's there. It's been there since November. FSG could have sold the club to Qatar in November, December, January, today, tomorrow, in my opinion, right? My Fitbit watch now is asking me if I'm all right. It's saying, is there a change in you? You know, it's like, are you feeling stressed? Yes, I am. Yes, right. They could have done that, right? Let me explain it to you. In my opinion, I might be wrong, right? But this cap says DKB, which means Dunk Knows Best, right? All right. Now listen to me. FSG want to trade with American business people, right? Existing partners, friends, acquaintances, or with new friends, acquaintances, partners, etc. They want to keep that in the family, right, over there. Now, you might say to me, but hang on a minute, Dunk, you just pocket as much money as you can. Well, yeah, like the Glazers, maybe they just want to like sell us to who they want, right? This lot don't, right? If you got, let's just say, 3.5 billion offer from Qatar and a 3.5 billion offer from the States, right? Equal. They're going to choose the States every single time for a number of reasons, right? Those reasons, future deals, future business relations, right? Maybe an existing relationship. Oh, you know, we've known you for years, Dave. Of course we want to do a business with you, mate. You know what I'm saying, right? Or, absolutely, you know, we'll do this deal together. It's been a pleasure meeting you. And in the future, you know, we'll work on other projects together. That's what they want to do, right? That's what it's all about. So, 3.6 billion offered from Qatar, 3.5 billion offered from America. Which way they're going? America still. Because still, right? That's what, in my opinion, 4 billion from Qatar, 3.5 billion from America. We got to start listening to other people outside America. You know what I'm saying? Because we're starting to talk about big difference in valuations and things like that. Right. Also, selling to American people, American businessmen, is going to be the same attitude and the same continuity. So they would exit Liverpool, right? Sell to similar people, right? And the continuity, which we as fans don't want to see, will be probably just like they're still in charge, right? But it doesn't look negative to FSG. They've gone, we've won a few things, we turned the club around, blah blah blah. Fair play to what the improvements they've done. But there's continuity there. They can leave and that's it, right? They sell the other direction, right? And you get owners like at Man City or somewhere coming and go, do you know what, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. It can be a little bit embarrassing maybe. Do you know what I mean? Like, they left, think about it. People in America go, well, look what they did at Liverpool. They left Liverpool. They got bought. It just shows you how they could have spent more money, blah, blah, blah. It's all about image and continuity and future deals and everything, right? It's not like me and you, right? It's not like me and you. We're just peasants, right? So, I can put my house on the market, right? And I say, right, well, $500,000 for my house, 500,000 for my house, right? Lovely woman, she's offered me 500. She's a lovely woman, she's got lovely kids and everything. She'll be so happy here, you know what I mean, right? And then some bloke comes, that guy's right, I don't really like him, but he's offered me 505,000. It's for 5,000's 5,000. Me and you will be like, well, I'm sorry, love, I'm sorry. But it's not like that to them because they're already stinking rich. So it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, they want to be wealthy, but it really doesn't make much difference. If they've got an option and it's rather similar, they're going to go with America every time. Right. Right. They want... Stop. It's asking me again if I'm stressed. Yes! I'm stressed. How do I stop this thing? How do I stop it? Just leave me alone. Fitbit. Anyway... I'm down gym and that I used it. Right. Sorry. Did you think I said down the gym? I said when I'm down in the gym. No. So... Right, that's one thing on there, right? They will not necessarily sell to the highest bidder is what I'm trying to say, right? That's what I believe and what people I trust believe, right? They want to try and... They don't even want to sell the club. They don't even want to sell it, all right? They're just like... They want someone to come and give them loads of money and make their job a little bit easier but still retain control. So for as long as they can, exclude a full sale, they will, all right? We've been saying this since the end of last year. Nothing's changed on that front, right? We might have to be careful. There might be some things that have changed that I might address later with my memory. But ideally, they want to... this is where I start getting confused with everything, what I'm saying. Ideally, they want to sell a minority, right? A minority bit. And the bit that I'm going to say has changed, which I think has changed, is they are willing to now listen to the other region. Initially, they didn't want to listen that way, Middle East, right? That way. I don't even know which way it is. But you know what I'm saying? America over here, Middle East over there. We'll try and do that. Can I remember that? Right. Now, it's not because the people in the Middle East look different to, say, me. They've got different skin colour or, they've got the flip-flops and all that. You know what I'm saying, right? It's not because of anything to do with that, right? When Liverpool Football Club was sold the first time around, right, to George Gillett and Tom Hicks, I think it was. Just saying that, right? Just so you know that. Okay. But this time I don't believe that is anything to do with that. Now, there is an element of our fan base, right, that very much are like that, which is very sad. But they're a particular kind of person and people, and they're actually the type of people that have hated on me for years and given me so much abuse over the years because I'm not from Liverpool. You might have noticed that. And I'm not allowed to support Liverpool Football Club or care about Liverpool Football Club or anything, right? That's a debate for another day, I think the local fans... I think that's like the soul of the club, and the people like me that you're calling out of towner is the heart of the club. You need them both, and they both bring different qualities, as Rafa Benitez would say, to the situation. But they don't like people from, be very, very careful here what I'm saying. I'm not saying Scousers or anything, because there's got this really weird thing at the moment where a lot of people think that the Scousers don't want these people. No, that's not true. There's loads of Scousers that participate on my members' website and on here and on the live streams on a Saturday night that'll say absolute nonsense. When I say a group, I don't mean locals. I don't mean people from away or whatever. There is a particular group of people from, I think you guys call them something, and they oppose selling to that region because they think that it's selling the soul of the club and all that. That's how they dress it up as, really. I think there's more to it than that, personally. And this is going to be longer than the podcast yesterday. I know it is, and it's supposed to be a short video. And my argument to that would be that the club lost its soul when David Moyes left. All right, that when it was sold, that was it. It's gone. In that respect, if you want to say that football's changed, that's it. It's gone. It's done. Right? It's changed. It's a whole different thing now. So if you want to try and be like, oh no, we want to keep it like this, well, good luck finding an owner like that because it ain't happening anymore. Right. FSG want to sell to Americans. FSG only want to sell a part of the club if they can get away with it, which is why they will drag this process out for as long as possible. All right? Now, they got very close to a group in America. Can't remember the name. You guys will remember the name, right? I can't remember who it is. It's some initials or something. I can't remember. You know, the ones that are involved with... You know what I mean, right? They were interested in doing this deal, but apparently they couldn't come up with the money to do the deal, right? So, what now? What? You're FSG now? What? Well, we'll see what happens, you know. They don't want to sell. They don't want to sell, all right? But the problem is, when Liverpool are underperforming, that means there's low morale, right? Throughout the club, as Rafa would say, and the fans get angry. So when there's low morale, and when the fans are angry, the fan base is angry, they monitor everything on social media, trust me. I don't mean they read every single tweet, but they monitor volume, all right, of certain things, right? And when things are going wrong, it puts them under pressure to consider other options, right? Because American business people, they're immensely proud. Like, well, I don't know about proud, but they're just like customer service in America is massive, right? Honestly, you complain in America, they're like, yeah, no problem, they'll fix it. In England, you're like, you what, mate? You what? Good fuck. You know, look at Ryanair, in Ireland or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, so world's greatest airline, by the way. Who are you going to call? Linda. Right. So, she's the only thing we'll miss about FSG. They will drag it out as long as they can, but when things are going wrong, pressure is applied on them. They have to go, we have to do something here, because if they start, ramping things up, they don't like it. They're not going to be bothered about protests and things like that, unless they're in the stadium and shown on national television, like global television, not just national, like international television, right? Outside the grounds, you might get Sky Sports showing a little bit here and there, but the majority of people around the world, they go to a bar or they're watching the match and they probably just start from the minute that the game kicks off, unless they're a die-hard supporter or something. I'm talking about neutrals and other, you know what I mean, right? They just watch from the off. So unless it's in the stadium, they're quite relaxed about that. So it's a waste of time because I'm going to stand outside Anfield with this big banner that says leave FSG out and all that. That's really not going to make a difference. It's got to be inside the stadium if you can do it. And then you've got a problem in Liverpool where, the fans are very much like, rightly so over the years, we don't really like to protest. That's not the way we do things here. If you see protests in Liverpool inside the stadium, things really have gone pear-shaped for that to happen, right? Otherwise you get slapped. Sit down, silly. You know what I mean, right? So everyone's got to be on side for that to happen. So that gives them breathing space. Unless the results continue to decline and there is, a more toxic environment online, on social media, and everyone's getting stressed out and fighting and arguing, which is what you're all doing, right? But then you win a cup game and it's everyone's all right for 24 hours. So, right. And then, if it does get toxic to the point where this FSG out, what was it that the chap at the Liverpool Echo the other day, very, very offended tweet I saw. The FS, I'm going to say FSG out, like movement, if you like. He called it the FSG out. I don't know. I'm going to find it in a minute. He didn't say morons, but he might as well have done. Twitter.com/KopTalk. The quote: "There will be a very important change at the club." That's not what Jurgen Klopp said, by the way. All right, let's have a look. Oh my God, come on, guys. Sorry, but it's really important with stuff like this. Here's one thing for you. The Echo has been told by well-placed sources in the US that there has been no real interest to this point. Lies! Absolute lies! Maybe they're not lying. Maybe that's what they've been told, because it does say we've been told, but that's lies, and they know it. Crusaders, Ian Doyle at the Echo, right? It's like James Pearce when he came out with the FSG boys, net spend boys. That was it. They didn't even say FSG. The net spend boys are quiet tonight or whatever. When James Pearce was baiting the fans, he's U-turned a little bit. I know, you know what I'm saying, yeah. Disrespectful, all right? Not having a go at James Pearce or Ian Doyle or anything, but why do you want to wind up fans that are just like passionate about the team, wanting to do well? Not everyone's, I was going to say swear words and things, but I'm trying to refrain from saying, but not everyone's a clown, you know what I mean? Like some of these people that are FSG out doesn't mean that they're just all mental or something. So, we had James Pearce saying, the net spend boys are quiet tonight when Liverpool win a game, just baiting the fan base. Then you've got Ian Doyle 3 days ago saying from the Echo, the FSG out Crusaders. Crusaders, you're a crusader if you oppose the ownership. Or would like a change. I think most people go, hey, thanks FSG, we really like what you've done, right? But we think you've taken us as far as you can or can be asked to take us. The FSG out Crusaders are almost certain to be disappointed in the next fortnight, reference to not being sold. But why call them FSG out Crusaders? I replied to, I retweeted that and put, wow, Crusaders? Really? I'd describe them as passionate Reds that are just tired of seeing their manager suffer. I think comments like this are unhelpful. It's the same as the net spend boys are quiet remarks that Pearce mocks fans with. Sad stuff. Right? Putting shit out like that. Anyway, so if the FSG out Crusaders up there, ante a little bit and then start taking things inside the stadium and also targeting, people that have commercial agreements with Liverpool Football Club, and in particular FSG, stateside and things like that, that's when their arse starts squeaking, right? That's when things change. I'm just saying, right? So, if the mood's all right, they will, the whole year, they will go not even give it too much thought, right? If you lot are quiet, they're not going to say anything. They're going to try and hold out until someone over there comes up with the money, right? Or they can, get a minority investment from wherever, even if that is another region, anyway. So, this is going to be long. I know, half an hour's not bad. Right, how could you squeeze this into a 3-minute video? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can do a lot in 3 minutes, just saying. You know what I mean? To speak to any of the chicks that know me. I can be 3 minutes, as long as I got my aspirin. I must get some aspirin. I know what you're thinking. Fuck you, I've got 3 minutes in you. Probably true. Anyway. Well, I don't know. How long are the adverts in between Coronation Street or something like that? I don't know. So, this is what I think's changed, right? I think this is what I think's changed. This is what I think, all right? Not telling you, because I'm not a Twitter ITK, all right? And I'm not selling you out, right? I'd love you to support my YouTube channel or support me on the website. I'd love you to. But maybe if you don't want to, you don't want to, right? That's fine. But what I'm saying is, I'm making this. I don't need to make this video for everybody. All right, I'm making this video because I'm passionate and I need to get it off my chest because I'm sick of having to respond to this stuff every day. All right, the Qatar stuff is not new. It's been there since November, if not before. Right? Nothing's changed. Right? The only thing that may have changed is I think the FSG, from what I'm hearing, right, are now willing to listen to that other region. Listen. Right? You'll have seen stuff the last few days that have said Liverpool preparing itself for was it mammoth? No, monstrous offer. A monstrous offer. Who comes up with that nonsense? Right? Do you really think a 4 billion offer to FSG is monstrous? To me and you, it's monstrous. Right now, 40 quid's monstrous to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just nonsense. It's just to try and get people clicking in and reading it all, and you all fall for it. Stop it. Right? Stop it. Monstrous. And why wait? Why are you waiting for a month to make a monstrous offer? You know what, right? I think I'm gonna put a bid in on that house down the road from me. I really like it. But you know what? I think I'll wait a month. What a load of rubbish! Do you know what I mean? 4 billion. But maybe they need time to get the money together. They're minted. What are you talking about? The deals could be all done. Oh, wait for it. It is done. That's right. That's what I've heard. It's all signed and we're waiting for approval for it. What a load of... What? Delusion of the highest. Right? Let me spell it out to you. Right? There is no agreement with Qatar or anyone else. There is interest in Liverpool Football Club from all over. You're telling me that, and this is just like a speculative question that you could say to someone. You're telling me that no one's interested in buying one of the most famous football clubs in the world? You're having a laugh? People have been trying to buy that club for years. That club's been up for sale since they bought the club. Before they even signed the paperwork on it, they knew what they were going to do. All right? And every single thing that I told you back then has happened. Every single thing, right? When I went to Boston, when they bought the club, and I, mingled with people over there, I don't just mean Dave down some bar or something in Boston. I'm talking about important people. I came away from there with good knowledge about them, I think, at the time, you'll remember. And you'll remember that I used FSG's chauffeurs, if you like, the company that chauffeurs FSG around, right? The videos on here are clipped from it. And I had to be very careful because I was filming, and you shouldn't be filming without people's consent and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think I actually put the entirety of the video of everything that I had up at the time. But there's a very small clip on here where there's the two different drivers. You can see it's two vehicles, and you can see that it's two different chauffeurs. And they're talking about FSG. And one of the guys says, well, I'll ferry you around, and he mentions the FSG partner. And one of them says, John Henry, FSG will be very good for Liverpool Soccer Club. They want to win and all that, right? Which we know they want to win. I do believe that, right? But the other guy said he's ruthless. You listen to the video, right? Johnny's ruthless. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? Oh my days. Right. There is interest in Liverpool Football Club, and there has been for ages, right? I don't believe anything the Echo tells you for a start. What did I say? I think it was yesterday. I said, look out for James Pearce surfacing, right? Or Joyce maybe. But I think maybe, James Pearce kind of thing, they have to respond to the situation. I believe James Pearce has done that today in the Athletic, right? And I think he's rubbishing the rumours. All the others have gone quiet. People go they'll say this, they'll go, well, there's nothing coming out from the journalists because they've all been told not to say anything. Shut up! What are you talking about? No, they don't. They don't know what's going on. That's what, they don't know what's going on. And they daren't say it. They can't commit. They can't come out. They can't be like a nobody like me and come on here and go, listen, this is what I think, fellas. Because no, it doesn't really make any difference what happens, what I say, does it? But they're employed. You know what I mean? They make it. If they come out and upset, if James Pearce comes out and upsets John Henry, can you imagine that? What goes on then? Yeah. If I upset Johnny, I don't give a fuck. But see, I can't. This is where I can't swear on here. I don't care if I upset John Henry. I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? Can't cancel me. Well, even if they did, so what? I'll just disappear and go and enjoy my life. That's it. I don't be getting caught up in this anymore. So. See, this video, I'll get told off by YouTube. The minute I upload it, it'll go, your video is not eligible. Just fuck off. Do you know what I mean, guys? Right. See, this is why you need to. Maybe I should just cut out all the passion and the expression. I don't know. When you start cutting out, so. There is no deal imminent with anybody. Right, so there's been interest in the club, in my opinion, and the opinion of others, right, who are far closer to the situation than I am. I just listen, right? And that interest has been there from November at least. We know that. Why do you think that news came out in... You see, I think that news came out in November, right, about there being a sale, because I think they thought they were going to sell to that group from America. And I think they put that out then to put the pressure on them. Oh, we're struggling to find the money. Oh, look, but shit's gone public now. We're going to have to do something about it. That's my opinion, right? My hunch. And I think I'm experienced with some of this, to know what I'm talking about. That's what I think anyway. And I said it at the time. And then it did come out not long after then. It did come out after then that there'd been, in advanced talks with that group in America. Anyway, so... Do we really want to sell to someone that can't come up with the money to buy the club in the first place? No, right. So, and I bring you to a quote that John Henry said. There's a video on my channel on here. I found it the other day. Sometimes we play it on the stream because we have a laugh about it on a Saturday night. I mean, even on the KopTalk Twitter account, I try not to put much out publicly, to be honest with you, but it gets on my nerves. I put the interest, as the grown-ups know. dig at the ITK Muppets. Has been there since November, but they want to try and deal stateside. If they concede and stop resisting, it happens. It really is that simple. And this is my point. They can sell to Qatar today. They can sell to Saudi today. They can sell. Right? There's, in my opinion, there are multiple groups in that region. 3 that I can think of that they could do business with today. But it's about greed. It's about greed. It's not just about the greed of the profit that they can take away for or that they're probably holding out for. It's about the future benefits of that. Oh, do you remember when we owned Liverpool Football Club? Well, yeah, look what we did. Look what we achieved. Blah, blah, blah. That puts a bit of money on stuff. John, retire. Just retire. Look at your chick. You know what I mean? You haven't got much left in... Retire, enjoy yourself. If I had that much money in bank, you won't see me trying to make more money and more money. Why are they so greedy? What is wrong with people? What is wrong with do something good in the world? Do you know what I mean? Get out there and spend your billions. People out there can't get a glass of water and they're trying to get another 500 million off it all or something. God, it does my noddling. They can sell right now that club. So, I put on Twitter the other day, found this video from May 2012. Think about this. There's a video on here from 2012, right? And it was titled, I have to click on it. Fenway Sports Group versus the Arabs. The music starts in a minute. Liverpool Sports Group versus the Arabs, Liverpool FC ownership. Anyway, you might want to watch that. So that was 2012, right? May 2012. I was talking about the same stuff in May 2012. It's 11 years later. We're talking about it again. Same stuff, right? In the video description of that video, it said, and it was a quote by Tom Werner from the 13th of April 2012. I would say we certainly have the resources to compete with anybody in football. And then, I do believe in that video description, I said, great, you'll get us a good manager then and we'll be able to spend on players and all that. There was doubts around them already. At this opportunity, I'd like to tell you, you can join me. I have a live chat room all the time, right? Now, I've just set it up the other day. And you need to go to you type this in your browser, as in, it's short for Telegram, t.me/KopTalk News. Right, t.me/KopTalk News, and if you can remember, t.me/KopTalk Chat, but it doesn't matter if you go to either of them, you'll get both. And you can install Telegram free on your desktop, your laptop, your desktop, laptop, tablets, iPad, mobile phones, whatever. We've got a chat in it. People are talking about all this stuff all the time. All right, you can just join us at any time. The reason I mention that is because it's packed now with people talking about Qatar. See, there we go. Look, this. Dear me. You know, I was saying to you, like, if someone looks the part as well, especially, and I forgot to say, if they're putting the tweets out in like loads of squiggly writing, you know what I mean? I don't even know if you're allowed to say that. I once mentioned squiggly writing before, and I got told off. It's squiggly writing, isn't it? Anyway. He's got 317,000 thing and views. Is it views? Oh, this tweet's got 317,000 views. And someone's put this guy. This is the guy. All the fuss was over. He's changing his tune now. It's not happening. And he's put a tweet out in squiggly stuff that says the issue of sales percentage complicates the matter somewhat. Now they're saying he's not changing his tune. This is everyone's talking about in this chat room right now. What's this? Anyway, listen. Get in the chat room. Right. I'm sorry if I go all over the place, guys, but I'm really passionate about it. And listen, those of you that are watching my videos that don't like me, I don't care for you. That's fine, right? But I look out for the people that look out for me. And there's people on here that have been with me for all them years. And I don't like seeing them getting their ropes up and then played with and stuff like that, right? So I'm going to keep it real. Now, if I'm quiet, it's because there's nothing to say, in my opinion, right? That's it. Now, so I do think, but this is only opinion, right? So I want to make this clear. If you follow my content, you'll know. If you listen to my podcast, my videos, I try to be very specific with my words because I don't like to imply or insinuate or I like to separate the difference between, I think based on my opinion, just as a hunch, versus I have this opinion based on what people are saying. And now I can't remember what I was going to say. My opinion is that FSG are holding out to sell over there, preferably a minority, but they're then, since November, they've started to change the tune a bit and going, well, let's just see what he's got to say over here, right, on the other side. That's what I think's been happening. And I do think that they're putting the feelers out. I do think they're more willing now to deal with that region than they were last year. That's my opinion, right? And there is a little bit of me that's got a bit of hope about it, and that is, and some of you will know this anyway by now, I would imagine. I've got video messages. I dare press play on that while I'm connected. It'd be like last night's match at day. Well, it better not be like that specifically, but I don't know. I need to have a look now. No, I don't, because then they'll wonder why I haven't replied. Right. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh no! Please don't forget that. It was really important. Oh yeah. Right. If you're a KopTalk member, if you're on the members website, you'll know about this, and I have mentioned it all over the place. So that's not a ploy to get you to become a member. Although I'd love you to, if you would, be very nice. I need to get the fixtures up. I think the camera hasn't frozen yet. He says, well, I can't see the camera on the screen. I think it might be going okay at the moment. Please, because the other computer was driving me mental. Right. I said some time ago to keep an eye on 3 fixtures. 3 fixtures, right? Because someone, not me, but someone who is hugely respected by our community that's been there since the 90s, we have someone on there that is, this is where I would normally have a private video for the members, so that it's not, because sometimes you've got to look after people. We won't say where they are, right? But let's just trust me on this. They're very well connected. And if you are a KopTalk member, you know who I'm talking about. And they said, and I don't know, I can't be asked to look it up, a few weeks ago, they said you need to keep your eye on 3 fixtures concerning Liverpool Football Club. Right? And because of visitors that were going to be present, I don't know if they meant all of those games or one of those games. I was just told, well, I wasn't just told, the whole KopTalk members community was told, keep an eye on these 3 fixtures. Now, when every time Liverpool play at home, right, it's often the next day that you start to hear something, or maybe that night, depending on who it is. And again, this is like from intuition and experience, from doing the website over the years, that when Liverpool play at home, that night, I tend to, this is all going to, you won't believe all this, but I tend to stay up a little bit later on those nights, just in case, and I'll get up earlier the following morning, because from my experience, that's when things come out, all right? Because we're just fans. We attend the games to watch the team play, and of course, everyone at the stadium does. But some people are more important than us. We have to accept that, right? And when there's big money involved, that's the time to host them is at your stadium, correct? Especially when it's an important or a glamorous tie, yeah? So you've always got to be suspicious when the owners turn up. It doesn't necessarily mean something good's going to happen, because that can be when there's going to be a sacking or something like that, right? Oh, it doesn't have to be dramatic. It just be that we're going to turn up, we're going to speak to people, see what's going on and all that, right? I'm not trying to imply, if you see the owners, it don't mean someone's going to get the boot or we're about to be sold, right? And I don't really think that this is anything to do with the owners anyway. So, all right, hang on. This is where I've got to be specific. I don't think that it can't be them. So no, just ignore that statement, please, because this is to do with people visiting, being hosted. So you're not going to host the owners, so it doesn't matter. Like let me try and explain this to you. So at those home games, that's when Liverpool, can. But this is a good time to, come round. And maybe an agent, you're going to try to work on a deal. Come to the game, we're playing Chelsea. Come along, right? We'd love you there. Come on out, see the set, look after them. You know what I mean? Kiss ass, right? So, or it could be to show facilities, whatever. You word it as you want. We were told to keep an eye on Liverpool, Chelsea, and Liverpool, Everton, right? Those are the two games, definitely. I have a memory like a sieve. But those are the two games definitely, because we've been talking about quite a bit last week. Liverpool-Chelsea, I'm not too sure about. We're talking hunch now. This is not what's been posted on the members' website. I just think it's an early kick-off. I'm not so convinced about that. It's a Saturday morning. It would be, if you're going to host someone of importance, an evening game on the 13th of February, with it being Everton as well. Yeah, serious biz. But you should keep an eye on Liverpool, Chelsea, Liverpool, Everton for rumours around that game. Those games, sorry. Maybe someone there. And if it was anyone from that, like from the Middle East or something like that, I don't think they're going to turn up looking like it don't matter. I think, you know what I mean? You just might have to be a little bit more observant on them two games, if you know where you're looking and what you're doing. If not, just listen to chatter. You're going to be listening out for anything on following those preceding. Is it preceding? Yes, those two games. Liverpool, Chelsea, Liverpool, Everton. I'm hopeful about them. And we were also told by the same person in the same update, there's a possibility that whoever we're hosting at either of those games, or one of those games, whatever, both of them, whatever, could be going to the Newcastle-Liverpool game as well. Which there is an obvious connection to the Middle East. So I don't know if they would be going to the Newcastle-Liverpool game as part of a Liverpool delegation or part of the, come on, we're up there. That just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe, we can get you tickets for the game, whatever. But I don't know. That I'm clutching now. This is me clutching, right? This is me just trying to piece things together. This is not based on, the majority of my video, I think, is based on what I believe is happening or has happened. I'm clutching now. I'm trying to piece it together. This is what we do as a community. And, maybe Liverpool said, we'll get tickets for Newcastle, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think they'd need to do that. Like, they're not peasants like us. So, is there a link with Newcastle? Newcastle's been subjected to a takeover recently. They have, it's recently in business terms, really. And they, they're from that region, the wealthy people. We've got Staveley there, we've got finance people. How better to see how, fellow investors have done another Premier League club recently, conversation, friendship, whatever. I don't know. I could be talking complete nonsense, but it's just, I was just told, I wasn't told, those people on the website were told that. Our community that I'm a part of, so it wasn't directly to me. So keep an eye on Liverpool, Chelsea, Liverpool, Everton, and also Newcastle, Liverpool. Just visually and these. Listen. If a big gun journalist that we trust, there's a difference between the ones that, like trying to make a name for themselves, that from America, I'm not going to say his name. Right, I'm not going to say his name. He's on Twitter. People have been mentioning him a lot recently. He's trying to make a name for himself, and he's associated to a big broadcaster. I don't believe anything he says at the moment. Okay, so I won't pay any attention to him. I'm talking about your Joyces and people like that. If they come out with anything after them games, it might be interesting, right? It could be positive, it could be negative, whatever. What was the other thing? Right, and the key points around those games as well. What I think makes it a little bit more interesting is the people attending those games as part of an invitation from Liverpool Football Club. I don't know they're attending those games. I said plural there. I don't know. I'm sorry to be specific, and I know it's maybe annoying you having repeated myself, but I like to be specific. I don't know if it's 1 game, 2 games, both games, no games. I don't know. But they were described as visitors, not guests. And I just think there's a difference between that. I'm clutching. I'm probably doing what you do every day. I'm clutching. I just think visitors is a different definition to guests. I hear of guests at Anfield all the time. Well, not all the time, but over the years. Visitors to me does sound like overseas. I don't know. Maybe I'm clutching, you know what I mean? I just think guests, yeah. I don't. Maybe you can visit from London. I don't know. But I just think visitors sounds more... I don't know. Just keep an eye on those games. I don't know anything about it, so I can't claim to have knowledge on that. So I'm not an ITK. I'm here to interact with people that I care about and that support my work. That's it. My job really is to try and steer people in the right direction that I have a lot of time for, based on things you might hear or know or whatever. I don't know. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's up to you to make your own opinions. You know, if you see news articles, you read them over and over again. And I think if you have to go online and say, "Can I trust that journalist?" you're already probably not. You're probably wasting your time. Excuse me. I've got a problem with anyone that wants to come on here and disagree with me. That doesn't matter. Just if you run your mouth in an abusive way, then yeah, I'll get rid of them. Simple as that. I ain't got time for that. And that's about it. It is a long video. I do apologise, but I do think at the same time people might appreciate it. You know. The problem is you put effort into, you know, like a video like this, say an hour long or something, and then YouTube will restrict your video, or, you know, not. It's just it's a bit soul destroying sometimes, which is why I think we need to maybe look at Rumble, you know, and maybe we can upload some videos there. I'll see what happens with this video, see if they tell me off for it. When you upload a video, you have to make like a self-declaration at the end of it as to how much, you know, is there profanity in it? Is there nudity? Can you imagine if there's nudity in it? I'd lose all my subscribers. If you want to, you know, fall into this fantasy of believing these people that are on Twitter and that's up to you. All I can say to that is if you go to my Twitter account at Duncan Oldham and look at who I follow, you know, you'll see a lot of crypto accounts I follow. I've started getting into that a bit. Crypto, you know, yeah. Any of you experiencing crypto? Doing all right on that. It's a bit of an hobby, you know what I mean? It's just an hobby. My son Rob tried to get me into it years ago. I was like, "Hey, don't know what you're talking about, you little shit." He's probably got about 3 million in bank now. But yeah, you'll see if you were to click on my follows, you'd see that I'm following quite a few of those accounts recently. I'm just trying to educate myself with a few things. But if you were to look for the Liverpool stuff, you know, related stuff, I do. If you see me following ordinary Liverpool fans, that's people that I've interacted with, you know, maybe members and stuff like that. So if you're a KopTalk member, you know, and you're on Twitter, then of course I want to follow you, you know. But when you look at the journalists, you'll see that, you know, following a journalist is not an endorsement. Right? Just want to be clear of that. I like to see what some of these idiots are saying, you know. But the point I'm trying to make here is you will not see me following a single so-called ITK, all right? And I cringe when I hear people, some of you mention names, and that's the only reason I know some of these names, and I'm not going to name them, but I've had a snoop, because it's my job to do so, and I'll see someone, and a name will come up all the time, I go, "Oh, who's this silly?" And I'll go and have a look, and I just think, really? You know, and anyone that's like I don't know, I just think they're full of their own self-importance. Maybe they're selling something. Maybe they just need to be idolised. I don't know. I don't know why they do it, but there you go. It's my job. And if I don't follow them, I think that says a lot. Okay? And another thing is, someone will go like, "Well, they got this right." It's like, well, yeah, but they've thrown 300 versions of it, so one of them's going to be right. It's like if Liverpool sold to Qatar today, tomorrow, does that mean I was wrong with everything I've just said in my video? I would argue I wasn't, because I believe that can happen at a minute's notice if FSG change their direction of thinking, right? Does it make the Twitter ITK right because they've been saying it for 3 months that we're going to be sold to Qatar? No, I don't think it does. And I don't really understand. I don't really think it matters whether you're right or wrong. to be honest with you, unless it means anything to you. You know, I have people that will come to me and tell me things, and sometimes it doesn't happen. And it doesn't mean that they were wrong. It just means that they passed something to me in good faith and it didn't happen. You just got to try and, you've got to go look at the messenger and think, can I trust that person? You know? And, you know, I've been here 25 years. I might have mentioned that a few times. And I have, you know, like people that think, they really like to listen to what I've got to say. They trust me with their life. And then I've got people that say, I don't listen to him, he's a big shyster and all that, you know, because they've had a ding-dong with me over the years or something. Or they're a part of that group I was saying you about earlier that don't like people not from Liverpool. Or maybe they run a similar, you know, I don't know, today we've got YouTube channels, podcast. Does it matter? I just think, like, it doesn't matter who's got the biggest penis. You know, at the end of the day, you know, it's about, for me on here, I'm not interested in building like my subscriber base. I don't care how many people follow me. I could not give a flying, because at the end of the day, as long as I can turn my lights on and feed myself, as you can see, I'm a growing lad. That's all that matters to me, you know. So that's it. And you don't need zillions of. If you're a young lad or a young lass listening to this and you want to become, you know, a content creator, don't think, oh, I wish I was an IT. Why? All you need is 1,000 loyal followers. So you don't need 100,000, you don't need 1 million, it's irrelevant. You need 1,000 loyal people that will support you in your content and your work, and you've cracked it, all right? So if you provide good content, all right, and interesting content, and honest content, people will come back to you and they'll support you and buy you a beer if that's what you're, if you like, all right? Sorry for the little bit of, like, you know, like tailing off there. I'm just coming down there towards the end, you know. And I just feel that there's a lot of people online that want to deliberately mislead you. That's it. All right. I'm sorry that it's such a long video. But, you know, we have got a lot of things to address. And, yeah, I did it in a podcast yesterday. I don't like excluding people. I think that maybe, I don't know, maybe I've said everything that was in that. Don't know. I just don't think that Liverpool Football Club is going to be sold any time soon to anyone unless they change their way of thinking. Low morale, bad results, angry fans, that will change their way of thinking. If they can wing it, they will hold on for as long as possible, because I believe that they are greedy. Take it from a man that knows all about greed. You know what I'm saying? I've got, like, you know, it's my thyroid. I think they're greedy, and that it's all about them. They're not like, they don't want to like sell to, you know, they're not bothered about like who they hand that club over to. In my opinion, I think it's about them, what they can get now. Obviously, although I don't think that necessarily means that they will sell to the highest bidder, as discussed, but what, you know, they can sell and still profit from the association and future business in America. And there comes a point when I just think, you know, like, how much money do you, it's like these footballers, man, you can only spend so much money. What does it matter if you're earning 500,000 a week or 1,000? In my life, 1,000 a week, I'd give anything for 1,000 a week. You know what I mean? But not 1,000. What I mean is, like, if you 500,000, 250,000, 100,000, you can only spend so much money. The only thing I care about in life is looking after my family and the people that are good with me. You know. So, when I told you, when I dropped that jackpot lottery win, anyone that's you know, supported me over the years, I'll be looking after them. That is for sure. Right, I think I've calmed down a bit now. My eyes are very sore, as you can see, and that's it. That's my vid. I need to rub my eye, only my eye. I've been having a nightmare with this eye if you've been on the streams on a Saturday night. So, this Saturday, I don't know if I'm doing a stream or not this weekend on here. I don't know. I might do one Friday night. I'll let you know in due course if you come along to those. Yeah. All right, and listen, I really do appreciate. Did anyone watch all of this video? If you watched all this video, say, I watched it all, don't you? That'd be quite funny. Did you find the video helpful? Do you disagree with me? I'm gonna say it one more time, and then I'm gonna end the video. Wouldn't it be nice if I could end the video bang on 1 hour, which I'm not sure I can do. But I'm going to say this one more time. FSG can sell that club today to Qatar. Qatar do want to buy the club, but so do other people in that region, and other regions, sorry. And it's not new. There is nothing happening new, in my opinion. They've been there since last year. There will be no monstrous bid. The bid is there. It's verbal, right? You only make a formal bid if you necessary if you need to do so. I can't do it. It's going to exceed an hour. If a bid comes in next month, it's because they've agreed a deal. That's it. They're not going to bid unless there's a deal agreed. And I can assure you that numbers are already sat on FSG's table right now that are monstrous, that they could accept like that. Right? It's that simple. All FSG have to do is pull the trigger and go, right, we'll deal. That is it. They can do it at any second. It's that simple. They could have done it in November. They could have done it in December. They can do it now. They can do it within the magic 2-week period that you all, well, not all of you, but which is now probably expired, I don't know. They can do it. It can happen. But it won't happen unless they go, all right, let's deal. Because they want to drag it out as long as they can to get what they prefer. They don't give a fuck what you want, trust me. That's my video. That's my thoughts on it. I don't think I'll be making any more videos today. I'm going to record some podcasts, I think, now. Not the KopTalk podcast. I think I did a few guys yesterday. I'll probably go and do the Dunk Knows Best podcast or something like that. If you want to support my YouTube channel, if you like my content, you can become a channel member. I think the info is in the video description below. You can become a KopTalk VIP member instead, which gives you access to all the extra videos and the extra podcasts, and you become part of a very, very important special community. Again, that information should be in the video description below. And thanks to those of you that have supported, like I did a little crowdfunder called Let's Make KopTalk TV Great Again, because my computer was failing. I did buy some gear, but it wasn't compatible. That's a long story, but this seems to be doing the job at the moment. It just means I use that computer on something else. But not many of you supported it though. Maybe it's a shit time for us all at the moment. But again, those of you that did support it, your name is in the video description below. And if you have supported it, and your name isn't below, please let me know. All right. Go to www.koptalk.tv and your name should be listed there, and that's how you can also support it. So. But yeah, just to be honest with you, a like and a comment, I appreciate your videos. It's just as important to me. It really is. You don't have to be a financial supporter. Does that make sense? To me, like some days I'll have a really bad day. We've all got things in our lives going on, and trust me, I've got enough going on in mine right now. And some days, I think to myself, I'm sick of it, don't want to do it, really sad. Then you'll get one nice email or one nice little comment. Makes all the difference, guys. It really does. So I'm not going to say any more. I think I've said enough in this video, and thank you to those of you that do support me, and I look forward to speaking to you real soon.